Today we're discussing one of the greatest glow-ups in Mortal Kombat history. And I'm not talking about Stryker. The boy had drip in Armageddon. It cannot be denied. He was looking fresh. And in Mortal Kombat 9, his personality could not be beat, but the man still took a massive L in that game. So today we're talking about the villain who took back his throne not once, but twice. Okay, anybody can do it once, but your boy Tsung took the top tier spot multiple times. Today's very special sponsor is Bokksu. Just look at this beautiful box. Bokksu sends authentic Japanese snacks to your door every single month. And some of these snack makers have been in business for over 100 years. So once again, it's authentic Japanese snacks. I'm not just saying that. So now it's time to crack it open and see what's inside. And if you want to snack along with me, then check out my link down below for 10% off. Yo, that's so cool. Look at this. It actually shows you what part of Japan every snack is from. How cool is that? And then after that, it tells you exactly what you're eating, which is a big deal because you're going to be putting this stuff in your belly. You want to know what you get. If you have food allergies or simply certain foods that you don't like, this right here is a godsend. And just look at how many snacks are in this thing. They are not playing around. Look at all these snacks. Look at this. Look at it. Look how much stuff. It's still coming. There's so much stuff in here. So many snacks. Bokksu is not playing around. Look at all this food you get for one single box. They got candy snacks. They got crackers. All this delicious stuff. Yo, is that a cookie? Don't play with me, Bokksu. Is this a cookie? It looks like a snickerdoodle. That's gonna be delicious. And yo, they got the spicy stuff. I can't wait to crack this open. Look at the adorable faces on this candy. How can you not want to try Bokksu? Like I said earlier, today's sponsor is very special. I highly recommend trying out Bokksu for yourself. And make sure to use my link down below for a special discount. If you enjoy snacking or simply love authentic Japanese snacks, I can't recommend this brand enough. So what are you waiting for? Try Bokksu today. So without any further ado, let's jump right into it, starting from the beginning. Mortal Kombat 1. Now I'm not gonna lie to you, Tsung does trip at the starting line because he is perhaps the most underwhelming final boss in Mortal Kombat history, if not all of fighting game history. And before you attack me in the comments section, there's a lot of reasons why I feel this way. Number one, despite being the final boss, he's actually the number 2 in terms of power level. The entire reason you fight Goro at all in Mortal Kombat is because Tsung hired him to protect his booty because the tournament before he got his cheeks handed to him by the great Kung Lao. Now in Tsung's defense, maybe it's a matchup thing. Superman is weak to kryptonite, some people have peanut allergies, and Tsung is allergic to punches and kicks. And I can empathize because I too am allergic to being beaten to death. However, that's not the case for Goro. He will catch as many hands as he wants because the guy has 4, okay? Most people bring 2 hands to a fight, not Goro, he has 4. So unlike Tsung, he is not allergic to the beatdown. He can give the beatdown back to you even stronger. And then on top of that, I think Goro is like the Frieza of the Shoukans, alright? He's not just from a strong group of people, he's also a freak of nature himself. For anybody who's not a big Dragon Ball Z fan, Frieza is like leagues above everybody else in his race. No one even comes close to his power level. The guy's a legit freak of nature. And it's a similar case for Goro. Shoukan are strong, but Goro is next level dummy strong. However, even so, Tsung has to take the L in this game because he is still number 2 in his own game despite being the final boss. And then on top of that, the guy's greatest trick is turning into other characters, which means the most memorable part of his fight is when you're fighting everybody else and not him, because as the old man, he kind of just hovers around and throws a fireball every now and then. So once again, Tsung does trip over the finish line, but rest assured, he is going to finish this race multiple times and it's going to be spectacular. So now it's time for Mortal Kombat 2, and your boy Tsung gets a power buff. He is restored to his youth by Shao Kahn. However, unfortunately, his drip did not get any better. I think that Mortal Kombat 2 Tsung might be one of the worst designs in Mortal Kombat history. I understand it's trying to reference his heritage and some kung fu movie outfits and stuff like that, but my god, it looks horrible, at least to me. In a game filled with ninjas and cyborgs and military operatives, I don't want to play as guy with goofy hat and overalls. And don't get me started on the color scheme. Your boy looking like a bumblebee with that black and yellow. It does not look good. Once again, Tsung's drip is lacking, but thankfully he did get a well-deserved power-up, which makes him a bit more memorable in Mortal Kombat 2. However, unfortunately, he is no longer the final boss. In fact, he's not even a sub-boss anymore. The guy's been knocked down another tier, which is kind of odd when you consider the power-up that he just got, but thankfully it means we can play as him in the game, so I can't really count it as an L. In my opinion, it's a mixed bag. It's a win that you can play as him, it's an L that he got knocked down from final boss and sub-boss status, and that's why I'm calling it a draw, alright? MK2 is a draw for Shang Tsung. He has some W's and some L's, and they cancel each other out. And it should be noted that not only does Shang Tsung defeat Shao Kahn, but he also takes over Outworld. So the boy's not just stopping at killing his master, he's enslaving everybody, which is basically the most gangster thing you can do in Mortal Kombat 2. And now it's time for Mortal Kombat 3. I like the face paint. I'm not gonna lie, I want them to bring the face paint back in future games. I'm still not a fan of his wardrobe. I think his drip is lacking once again in MK3, but it's still the best he's looked so far. I like the hairstyle and I like the face paint. He does look intimidating. However, when it comes to his bio and ending, it's pretty much a repeat of Mortal Kombat 2. Not very much creativity happening here. The only difference is this time he also takes over Earthrealm. You see, Shao Kahn planned on betraying Shang Tsung, but he pulled out an Uno reverse card and instead betrayed Shao Kahn and took all the souls for himself, making him really strong. Fun fact for anybody not aware, Shao Kahn is actually the one who taught Shang Tsung how to steal souls in the first place. That's a Shao Kahn technique that he gave to Shang Tsung. But next up, we have one of the greatest wins in Mortal Kombat history, especially for a villain, because at the very start of Deadly Alliance, Shang Tsung gets revenge and kills the champion of Mortal Kombat. That's right, Shang Tsung straight up murks Liu Kang at the very start of the game. You don't even get to play as the main character anymore. He is dead before you even get to the main menu. Shang Tsung is out here literally destroying childhoods. Everyone like me who grew up watching the Mortal Kombat movie and loved Liu Kang, we developed PTSD from this game opening. It was not easy growing up after this game, let me tell you. In fact, Liu Kang was killed so hard that he's not even back for the next game. Your boy is absent from Deception completely. Now, to be fair, Shang Tsung did have help from Quan Chi in this opening, and it's definitely why he won, but he's a villain. He doesn't care about cheating. As far as villains are concerned, this is still a certified W. I mean, for Pete's sake, the guy's go-to strat is to transform into other people, that way he can win. The guy can't win by himself, he's always a cheater, so as far as winning goes, this counts for him. And also, can we appreciate the drip on Shang Tsung in this game? This costume is the best Shang Tsung has ever looked. Not only does Shang Tsung finally look like an actual sorcerer and not some extra in the background of a kung fu movie, but also this outfit will forever be associated with the man who killed Liu Kang, snapped his neck in front of everybody before we got to the main menu, scarring children for decades to come. And in case any of you watching aren't aware, there is no happy ending for Deadly Alliance. The villains win. Shang Tsung and Quan Chi win. Everybody dies by the start of Deception. And even Thunder Gods can't catch a break in this series, alright? The boy catches an L right at the start of the game. However, I regret to inform you all that the crown does fall from the head of Shang Tsung in Deception as well. The guy gets defeated by Quan Chi, aka Elmer Fudd. And if I'm being honest with everybody watching, I think his victory was plot armor. I think the writers just wanted Quan Chi to win. You cannot convince me that in a 1v1 Quan Chi wins. However, fear not, because the man gets another massive win in the next game, Armageddon. Why? Because he's out here clapping everybody's cheeks, including Quan Chi. He gets a drop on him by transforming into Ermac and then murking Ermac's buddy Kenshi. That is next level savagery. For anyone not aware, Kenshi and Ermac had major beef at the start of their timeline, but then Ermac developed as a character and they buried the hatchet to an extent. But then guess what? Shang Tsung stomps on all of that, literally, which is savage. In fact, it's beyond savage. Shang Tsung is downright barbarian in the opening of this game. He also manages to dodge attacks from Shao Kahn. That is nuts, because like any good Mortal Kombat fan knows, Shao Kahn can easily break the sound barrier, which means that Shang Tsung is confirmed faster than light. I'm just kidding, by the way. That's a joke. I have to say that because people think that I'm being literal at certain moments like this. So yeah, that was a joke. Alright, don't donkey punch me in the comments section. Just having some fun here. But all joking aside, surviving Shao Kahn for even a few seconds is a massive feat. In this timeline, pretty much nobody could step to Shao Kahn except for Liu Kang. And the W's just keep coming in this opening cinematic, because now it's time for Shang Tsung to literally face his demons and fight zombie Liu Kang. And guess what? To my shock, he wins. The man straight up dusts Liu Kang. Liu Kang doesn't even land any clean hits on him. Your boy Shang Tsung been hitting the gym. He's been practicing. Now, to be fair, this is zombie Liu Kang. Liu Kang's soul is actually somewhere else, so it's not actually Liu Kang fighting Shang Tsung. It's more of his apparition, a husk, if you will. But even so, I still believe it's the first time that Shang Tsung has ever defeated Liu Kang by himself, so still a pretty big W. However, now it's on to the Netherrealm series, and the first game, MK9, pretty much retells the first 3 games of Mortal Kombat with some changes here and there. And unfortunately, one of those changes was to have Shang Tsung take a lot more L's. In the previous timeline, he lost to Liu Kang, and that's pretty much it. But in Mortal Kombat 9, he also loses to Smoke and even Katana, and that might be the biggest L, because MK9 Katana can't even land a clean hit on Liu Kang. And yet, even so, she still bodied Shang Tsung. Now, that could be because it's her chapter and everyone wins during their own chapter, get a big power buff, and it could also be because the writers are trying to redeem Katana a little bit. Because I love Katana, but even I have to admit that in the past games, she was either a damsel or under mind control or something like that. She was never really her own heroic character. So I think NetherRealm was just throwing your girl a bone, giving her some W's here and there, and making her more like Xeno warrior princess. But sadly, losing to Katana was not the biggest L for Shang Tsung, because he also gets his soul straight up ripped out of his body by Shao Kahn, which I just realized may be a reference to Mortal Kombat 3, because that was actually Shao Kahn's plan. He was going to betray Shang Tsung and take his soul for himself. And honestly, that's a good idea, because Shang Tsung's soul is a packaged deal. It's a #1 combo on a fast food menu. You're not just getting Shang Tsung's soul, you're getting the thousands of souls that have kept him alive and young for thousands of years. So that's why Shao Kahn straight up yeets your boy's soul from his body. And then to rub salt on the wound, he puts the soul in his hoe. Just straight up gives Sindel Shang Tsung's soul for the greatest power-up in her entire history. Once again, it's a massive L for Shang Tsung, and sadly, he is gone from Mortal Kombat X because he's canonically dead, and he's not even a Revenant, because Quan Chi knows better than to turn him into a Revenant. Alright, because you can't trust Shang Tsung, alright? The guy's going to backstab you any minute, and you're never going to see it coming because he is the master of backstabbing. In fact, even Kronika knows this, because in the DLC for Mortal Kombat 11, it's revealed that she put Shang Tsung in a pocket dimension. She didn't even kill him, because that's not a guaranteed way to get rid of Shang Tsung. Once again, the guy is a sorcerer, and like we see in Ermac's ending for MKX, he can straight up use you to load his own save file. Alright, do you understand? This man is never confirmed dead, so killing him is a bad idea, and that's why Kronika just locked him in a separate dimension. So put some respect on Shang Tsung's name, alright? The guy is so terrifying that the most powerful character in Mortal Kombat fiction locked him away because she's scared of what he might do even if she kills him. Now, I know that Kronika is stupid, alright? I made a whole video about how Kronika is a terrible boss, but still, canonically, she is the strongest character in the NetherRealm games, and she's afraid of Shang Tsung. So already that's a massive glow up from MK9, and things just keep getting even better because it turns out that Kronika has been working with Shang Tsung this entire time. The only reason Kronika can rewind all of existence at all is because Shang Tsung helped her make the crown. That's right, Shang Tsung is one of the main reasons the timeline keeps getting reset. And your boy Shang Tsung is aware of this, which means that every time he catches an L, it doesn't matter to him because he knows that Kronika is going to reset it and he gets another shot. That is the most 4D chess thing I can ever imagine. What a great retcon for Shang Tsung. Literally every time he takes an L, we can't even consider it an L because maybe he just allowed it to happen because he knows he gets a second try. He can just reload his save file. It's almost like watching a speedrunner make a big mistake, but they still finish their run anyway because they can still perfect things for the next go round. That's Shang Tsung. Your boy is speedrunning the Mortal Kombat series every single time because he knows eventually he's gonna get his chance. And boy, does that chance come in Mortal Kombat 11. The man becomes a literal god. In fact, he becomes stronger than that. He becomes stronger than Titans who give birth to the gods. Kronika ain't got nothing on Shang Tsung by the end of this game. He absorbs her soul. I didn't even know Titans had souls. I don't think Kronika even knew that for sure, but he sure proved it when he sucked her up like a vacuum cleaner. Shang Tsung's power level is off the charts at this point. Nobody can measure it. Not even Dragon Ball Z characters can scale to Shang Tsung anymore. He is galactic level threat. And I know some of you might be saying that, oh, he loses to Liu Kang, but does he? Does he? Because you can pick who wins in the final chapter. Who's to say which ending is canon? We don't know yet. Shang Tsung's ending could be canon. Who knows? MK12 may start off like Deception with the heroes losing. Nobody can say for sure, which means Shao Kahn might have the greatest comeback in villain history. Not just Mortal Kombat history, not just fighting game history, but villain history. The guy tripped at the starting line, but then still took the gold medal in Deadly Alliance, fell off a bit in Deception, and got a glow up in Armageddon, and then took everything back in Mortal Kombat 11, proving that he is the final villain. You might not have thought so, but that's because you haven't been there before like Shang Tsung has. He's done this millions of times when Kronika keeps resetting the timeline, so he's not sweating, he's not concerned, because he knew that eventually he would get the golden, diamond encrusted, god tier W, and that is the story of how Shang Tsung had the greatest comeback in villain history.